I haven't read this piece in a while. It's the last piece in the book, and I mean, throughout this book, the first part is I'm really doing a lot of drugs, and heroin in particular. Although there was a summer when this chick from the wall scene tried to get me off heroin by taking immense amounts of speed. I had to start doing heroin again to get my fucking health back. And then I got on a methadone program in New York, and then I moved out to California. That's the second part of the book. And then I moved, the last part of the book was I moved back to New York for just a short while, actually. When the book finished, I moved back to New York, really. I just stayed back here. It was just, I think I just wanted to prove to myself that I was clean, I could stay clean in New York, and it was hard, but I did. So I realized I missed California. I missed my dog, and I missed, being in the country for the first time in my life. So this is when I'm back in California, and it's the last piece of the book, and it's one of the most disgusting pieces. I mean, there's really disgusting parts in it, but you have to bear with it because there's a higher moral purpose to it. It's a sustained metaphor that runs throughout the book, this abscess that I have on my arm that just won't open, I keep trying to open it throughout the book. There's one earlier scene in the book where I went to a movie with this friend of mine, this woman, and she, it was like really a cold night in New York, but it's this movie on 8th Street in the Village, and once we got inside, it was so fucking hot. It was like a sauna, so everyone's peeling off like these layers of heavy coats and then sweaters, and then, but the final layer I had was, I would sat there in a t-shirt, it was so hot, but all I had was like this real tight, like leotard, that it was like one of those dancing leotards, It was the chick's leotard, man. She left it at my house. If you leave it, I wear it. All right. I mean, actually, the little buttons here. Sometimes I do them up, sometimes I didn't. It did feel kind of good when it's tight and it's precise. I knew where everything was. And when they popped open, it always felt great. But at that, so we watched this movie, I don't know, some piece of French misery, like Vaseline on the lens and shit. And then the film's over, and instead of like putting all these layers of clothes back on, and like I've been sweating throughout with this thing, and it's really tight, it's down here, so it's pressing against the abscess, and I didn't realize it at the time, but it was like having a hot compact on it or something. And so I didn't, like all the other smart people, put my clothing back on at our seat, and like my friend did, but I just took it with me and waited till I got to the small entrance where like there were just 3 small doors, and right in the middle of the middle door, I start putting on all my layers of clothes, But I feel something funny as I'm beginning to do this with my coats and sweaters on the floor and shit. And I feel something funny, like up my arm, and so I kind of roll up my sleeves slowly, and this is when everybody's coming out in the lobby, And by rolling it up, I just kind of increased the pressure, I guess. And by the time I finally rolled it up above where the abscess was, you can still see the scar, actually. I mean, this fucking thing shot out. It was like projectile vomit from some tiny little elf or something. It shot right across the lobby. I mean, people were, hey, watch out. Alligator shoes, bro. I mean, it started a chain reaction of people getting sick and going out and vomiting on, like, on the parking meters outside and shit. It was disgusting. This woman I was with never spoke to me again. I almost had to make a run for my life. They thought I was an alien being or something. So, I mean, that did not do it. The thing, it was just out of this tiny hole. That's why it shot so hard. The thing did not open. You know, I thought, oh, great, it's open. You know, everybody hates me, but it's open. But it didn't open. That was just like, you know, a little, like, lease, you know, a little taste. The thing, it was like torturing me. It's a torment, you know? It's a demon. And so, this is the last one in that book. Oh, I had gone to a completely fucking crazy loft, New York, early 70s, takes place in the early 70s type party, you know, and the night before, so Starks makes a reference to that. It's just hideous.